Hey everybody, Jim here, and today I'm coming at you with another video from Saplicity. In this video, I'm going to talk to you and demonstrate how easy it is to make customizations to pre-existing Saplicity tools using simple VBA code. Before I get into that, I'd like to talk about two things that have come up. The first being, how do I monetize this? Well, I don't bother to monetize this. I don't want to chase down money for open source code. It would just be a complete waste of my time. The second thing is a friend of mine told me that when I make these videos, I'm just showing off. I'm just being some kind of braggart. And the implication there is that I'm some sort of pedantic narcissist that just likes to show off what he can do. Well, to that I say, no, I don't inspire people by showing them what I can do. I like to inspire people by showing them what they can do. With that said, let's get into this. Over here on the right, you'll see that there is a Select Views window popped up, and in it I've ticked the Warehouse Management Views. Now, the client for which I'm writing this code has a system wherein some material masters in plants are warehouse managed. And the way to know which warehouse to apply in each case is by looking into the T320 table and comparing the plant, the storage location, and then from that row, picking out the warehouse. So let's make some test data and I'll get right back with you. So here I'm going to make a tab called T320. And up here I'm going to put vex, lgort, and lgnum, I think is the field for that. Let me verify that quickly. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Great. Let's jump into the VBA code. So I'm going to scroll down to the spot where it populates the org levels right here. I'm going to insert a new line and put a remark to explain what this snippet of code does. Nice. Now I'm going to go back into the Excel spreadsheet and put in some silly data. There we go. So in plant 1000, storage location warehouse 09, and the warehouse must be 991. Let's get into the code. All right, so I'm going to throw a breakpoint right here. No, here. That seemed to work well the last time. And I'm going to start this, and when the debugger gets to here, I'll be right back with you. But first, let me put in some test data. There we are. None of this is going to matter because we're just putting in dummy data to get us to the point wherein we get to the org levels window. All right. There we are. Yeah, that'll work. So we want to make sure. I see what I've done wrong. We have to back up a hair and trigger the system to tag those two views for warehouse management. Let's do that now. Here we are. All right. Let me bring up SAP quickly so I can get the names of those two views. There we are. Great. Well, it doesn't like that, does it? There we are. Now, because I want this to always come up, I'm going to remark out this if statement so that every time this tool is run, to do a plant extension of any sort, it checks to make sure that these two are ticked. Now, if the material master is already extended to the warehouse to which I'm trying to extend it, then it won't throw up the tabs for that particular warehouse view, and this will just be moot. All right. And let's try this again. All right. So now it's throwing in the warehouse number field here in the org levels. Great. Let's bounce into the debugger and see what the name of this field is. Okay, knowing SAP as I do, I'm guessing this is sort of toward the top of the fields in this user area. That's storage location here. And that might be the label. Yeah. So that object is this word right here. Let's go down a little further. Nope. Warehouse number. And that's the GUI label. So here you see the words warehouse no. The next field, or the next object in this user area should be this field right here. Yeah, that's it. LG num. And it's a ctext or GUI ctext field. So the name of it is RMMG1 LG num. Now, because I'm stepping through all of the children in this user area, I can pick this by name. And the reason I like to pick it by name is because if the data is not provided, for example, if somebody only wants to extend a sales, costing and accounting views for a plant, then the storage location here won't appear as an option to fill. So it goes through, and where this doesn't exist, it doesn't cause an error because it's not trying to populate this field. Another way to quickly find the name of this field, now again, the name, not the ID, is to hit F1, and here go into this tool, and there's the name of the field, this screen field. So I'm going to come back here, recycle a little bit of code. Like this. And grab this. I guess I can't copy with right click. Paste this in. Then, all right, I want to step through the options that are on the T130, the T320 tab that I just created. All right, let's do that then. I'm going to do a quick for next just to keep this simple. Nice and simple. I'm going to say string range equals, and let's figure out on T320 what range we should be looking for. All right, so column A is the plant, column B is the storage location, and column C naturally is the warehouse number. Now, this is going to seem a little complex, but it'll make sense in a moment. A lot of times, users will pass data into the system that isn't very clean. For example, perhaps it has some spaces or special characters in it. So I'm going to make this a little more complex than it may seem to be, than it may seem need be, but it'll make sense once I'm finished. Well, let's do this then. I have to back up a hair. There we are. Equals. Great. Then, oh, that's much better. So here I'm looking into the T320 tab to get the value of A, and the initial one is 2, and compare that to the string plant coming from the source data. Okay, and the reason I'm trimming it and then converting it to uppercase is because a lot of times you get faulty data. Someone can just key in, for example, 8H13, but the H might be lowercase, in which case you wouldn't get a match here. Also, I'm putting a trim in here because there's a chance the data from T320 may come from SE16 pasted into Excel and then separated by delimiters, that pipe character, in which case you still have trailing spaces in your data. Let's do this again. but we're going to be a little more complex this time. No, this will still work. All right, same thing in there. Okay, so if the plant matches and the storage location matches, then we want to populate the warehouse number with the value in that third column. Mm, And just to speed things up, some non-negligible amount. Actually, this will be quite negligible. There we are. That should do it. Yeah, let's give this a test and see if this works. All right. Let me set up the debugger so it looks right. All right, hopefully I haven't broken it by going into F1 and then stepping through these. And we can find out easily enough. Yeah, okay, it's going to be fine. All right, let's try this. Oops, I broke something there. Let's figure out where we went wrong. Let's launch the debugger and get back to this point. All right. All right. Here we are. I'm going to step through here. String range equals C. Let's call it, it's going to be C2. Yep. Object child.text equals trim worksheets 320 range dot value. Let's see what this is. 991. Okay, that's fine. Well, let's hit F8 and see what happens. Let's see what this is currently. It's blank. All right. All right, I'm going to hit F8 and see what happens. It populated it. Great. Well, that's quite odd. So I suspect that I broke it when I hit F1 and went a couple of windows deeper into SAP. And when I tried to populate this before, it couldn't because, again, I had just broken it. SAP is pretty weird with these objects. When you touch something, it'll break a bunch of other things, so you have to really watch out for that. Well, great. I'm going to step out to there, and rather than push this button over here, I'm going to stop here and declare victory. You'll notice that the warehouse number has been populated. Anytime this tool is used to make a plant extension, it will try to create additionally the warehouse extension. But if it's already created, then it won't recreate the warehouse extension. That tab will just be passed over as it doesn't appear in the number of tabs that SAP presents while extending the material master to the plant. Let's look at another quick and easy customization. All right, picking up where we left off. There are some plants wherein no material master must be costed or have an accounting view. And in the rare cases where somebody accidentally creates an accounting view and a costing view, they have to be set as not costed. It becomes a very cumbersome thing, and you really don't want these views to exist in these plants that are specifically designed to never have valuation and never be costed. So let's put in a snippet of code that will catch this and untick these automatically when it is this type of plant. Here in the code, it's pulling out the pstat value for the material master views that need to be created. Let's find out what the plant's going to be, and based upon the plant, remove the accounting and costing views where necessary. So I'm going to put a remark in here. Great. So our string range, let's see, I think the plant, yeah, it was C, column C. Here we are. And just to make this really easy, I'm going to pull this up here as well. There we are. And in this case, we're going to say that anytime the plant begins with the letter X, all of the stock therein must be non-valuated. There we are. And I really should be putting this code, and in fact I will. I'm going to put this code right here. Thank you. And this should be done in any case. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yep. Yeah, that's right. because data is going to be passed into this, and it's going to have trailing spaces, or it's going to have lowercase letters. This should be done in any case, and I'm going to go through the tools and fix all of these by adding trim and ucase to each one of the fields that can cause an error. Now, the trailing space may seem like it's not that big of a deal, but if you have a 4-character plant with a trailing space, that's actually 5 characters, and if you try to pass a 5-character value into a 4-character SAP field, it will throw an error. That's just something to watch out for. Okay, back to where we left off before this got a little too crazy. All right, if it is a non-valuated plant, then we're going to remove the letters B and G, and we know that B and G are associated with the accounting and costing views because we have this handy guide to what letters are associated with what views. So here we're going to say string stat equals replace there we are. There. And just like that, anytime a plant extension comes through here, but it's for a non-valuated plant, the accounting and costing views will automatically be dropped and not created, even if there's a direct request in the pstat to create those. Because of the non-valuated plant having no desire to have accounting and costing views in it, those won't be created. And that's it. Well, great. I sure learned a lot making this video, and I hope you did too. Thank you so much for watching. And if you are using this code to do mass loads into SAP, then please consider giving this video a like and sharing the website with your friends. The more people who know about this, the better. Again, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.